Hello, welcome to the Firestone Farm, the birthplace of Harvey Firestone. The home was where he grew up and he went to found the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company. So the Firestones back in 1885 would have had about 117 acres on their farm. And to just kind of illustrate what they would have been doing at that time, we farm about 7 to 8 acres currently. And we have the same heritage crops as well as the animals that they would have raised and used at that same time period. Such as the Percheron horses that pull most of our farm equipment, such as the wagons or the plows. And we also have, of course, the merino sheep that Harvey's father raised as one of their main sources of income.
We got a few more coming.
Okay. Come on, boys. So standing right next to me are the merino sheep, which would have been the main source of income for the Firestone family. Most sheep today would have a smooth skin, unlike these sheep. They have wrinkles on them, and that would give you more wool per sheep when it came time for shearing. With modern day sheep, you have electric shears, and that will actually cut a merino sheep, that electric shears will cut the sheep. So back when you had the hand shears, that wasn't so much of a problem, so you wanted to get more wool per sheep, which the hand shears would allow you to do without harming the sheep. So in addition to our horses and other heritage animals, right here I'm standing right next to our Poland China pigs. They're sort of like living garbage disposals. They eat just about anything on the farm. Some of the scraps that the ladies will actually produce, we can come out and feed that to them, as well as like when we are making apple cider, we'll come out and give bits of the apples to them as well. Although their digestive system is a little bit like ours, so we do have to be a little bit careful. And then beyond that are shorthorn cattle, and shorthorn cattle are a little bit different than cattle today. They are good for meat or dairy production, although the Firestones would not have actually butchered the cows as they did with the pigs. But they primarily use them for milking purposes, and that's what we that's what we do on the farm today with them. So Firestone Farm represents not only a certain family within American history, but it also represents how most Americans would have been living in the 1880s. More importantly so, it represents sort of a transition point in American society. Before the Firestones, you had most people who were living off the land, but mainly to provide for themselves and for their family. Then when the Firestone, during Harvey Firestone's time with his father, farming was more of a practice to produce for yourselves, but you also wanted to sell some sort of crop or product, such as the wool from the merino sheep, which Harvey's dad grew. And then after that point, it became more industrialized, as Harvey signifies when he leaves the farm setting towards a more industrialized setting that most Americans have come to know today. Now it's important that we look back and reflect upon things like how the Firestone Farm was in 1885, as we've become disconnected as an American people from the food that we've been eating. Most of us don't get the chance to go look at fields or see how such things that we eat are produced, and Firestone Farm is a great place to remind us of where our food comes from and what work is really involved when we sit down and have a meal today.